Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked up by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Old School on a Tuesday. I'm DP. He's the Husker Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman, otherwise known as the Cookie Monster.
That's Nick. Nick rubbed off on me yesterday.
What'd he do?
I seen him over there out of my peripheral, man. He hit up the Mark Onweiler crack cookies.
Yeah, that's what that's fair.
Hit them bad boys up.
That's fair.
Numerous times, didn't you?
Yeah, he been here all day. He's 2 days of cookies.
Look at him. He just happy. Look at him.
2 days of cookies.
Cheese and look at him.
2 days of cookies.
That's all right.
This is a fantastic day. Nick came in from Muchachos.
Yeah.
Still got the cookies.
Yeah.
Did you eat it from Muchachos?
I did. I had half of the pipeline burrito, then I put half of it in the fridge,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my dinner tonight.
He thinks it's going to be there, right?
I was going to ask, did you save me anything?
Well, there's some street tacos in there, I think.
Mm.
Yeah. And Nick asked me how many people are here before he came here, and I said there's 6.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Made enough for everybody.
So there should be enough for everybody. So you hear him, Jay. We'll find out on a break.
I have not had a single street taco.
We'll
I
find
only
out.
have
But
had
you hype about that pipeline burrito.
I've never had one, and so it was fantastic.
That's
It was?
Yeah,
It is fantastic.
that's grown man food.
You might
right
need
there.
your own like cooking show, eating show.
I tried. Me and Mark. We
I think the second one's right.
we discussed.
I think,
You know he can't cook.
I think
you don't
the eating
season his
show.
meat.
Really?
Yeah, I think the eating show.
You
You know, I know you don't season your meat.
Wow.
It's
Jay.
written all over your face. Nobody at
Wow.
Pius the 10th seasons their meat.
Wow.
Jay, I can cook a mean salmon.
Talk to us. Tell us how. Come on.
It's you put a little bit of lemon.
First of all, how are you preparing it before you
you
season?
cut the scales out. You get the scales out and everything like that.
Mhm.
Put the lemon. You buy it from Hy-Vee. I mean,
Okay.
Is that?
That's good.
I'm not going to Alaska and catching some salmon.
I'm not saying you should.
Okay, good. Well, DP gave me a look like, well, how do you catch it? I'm like, I'm not going. I'm going to the store.
Mm-hmm.
Put some lemon on it. Put it on the grill with some foil
Mhm.
on a nice little cookie sheet. Just cook it very, very slow, and until it starts.
What temperature?
Mine is medium low. I do it on. It's very slow.
Mm.
You can also do it on an air fryer.
Buzzy laughing at you, Jay.
At me?
Yeah.
Why?
He said he don't season his meat.
Oh yeah, he don't season. You know, Buzzy. You know, Nick don't season his meat. But it's all good. By the time we get done with him, he's gonna be having his own dry rub on ribs and stuff.
We're gonna have Nick walking around with hot sauce in his pocket.
Oh yeah. He gonna go to Machachos with his own hot sauce.
Oh man. All right, so Jay, I have to share this story with you because this story is partly about you. So go to Tanner's to do the post-game show, and Cassie brings out, she says, "Hey, you have a letter." And I'm like, why would somebody send a letter to Tanner's? But it says Tanner's, but it's here we are,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Attention 93.
Right. But you see where that's from? And don't say the dude's name because we're not trying to do that.
Damn.
Jay, you have to read the letter.
Oh, I want to read.
Yeah,
it?
you do.
Okay,
You
about to say.
do. Because the story gets better. So I'm handed a letter, and it's from an unnamed correctional facility, but was sent to Tanner's because they heard the post-game show from Tanner's. So they said, okay, I'll just send it to Tanner's. And so, I'm preparing for the post-game. I'm kind of, there hanging out. And I hand it to Jake Sorensen because I'm like, whoa, okay, here we go. Well, apparently in some correctional facilities, our show is very popular, and they spoke directly about Old School. And then proceeded to give his full breakdown of the season, recent games, everything. Like, took time, hand wrote it, sent it in. Like, I was like, go ahead, man, go ahead, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, well, yeah, they're listening to us in prison, which a whole other conversation of things that you need to address. But then, see, this is what happens. Connor and Mark and Schaefer, they're like, hey, you should look it up, which I'll tell you, don't do.
Look up what?
Who the person was.
Oh, on this letter?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that was a mistake. Don't do that.
Hold on. But I mean, hey.
No, he went in, right?
Yeah, I like his ideas.
Like he went in, and this is a full 3-page letter. Look at Rico. No, Rico, because you are going to mess this up. You're going to mess this up. You could not tell. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just saying Jay,
what's up?
we looked up old dude.
Don't look him up.
Yeah. Well, it's all good. Well, if you're listening out there, man, I like his points though.
Yeah, he was on point with the letter, right?
He also has fantastic handwriting.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, he's got great points. You can tell he watches the games or he knows football. You can tell he knows what he's talking about. I feel you though, player. That I'm sorry that we had hyped you up to bet Nebraska against Michigan, and then it was a better judgment after that. But I'm gonna tell you this: I had, if it was me, I would have done the same thing. I did not envision Nebraska being where they're at right now.
Also, shout out unnamed place for having 93.7 the ticket.
Yeah, like they got him on, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Very popular.
Yeah. So we appreciate y'all. If y'all are there listening, look,
man.
we hoping y'all get through it because that is no joke.
I was not prepared for that news when you brought that letter in.
Oh, no, I was minding my business, right? Like I'm watching it. I'm like, we're preparing for the show, like post-game show, which is gonna be a tough one, right? So we're going through it. And the letter pops, and I'm like, well, why would somebody send a letter to you? But then I looked down and it's like, nope, sure enough, that's where they sent it and came through and got the stamp. And I was like,
hey, man, I appreciate it.
Man's just wanted to get his points and opinions out.
Oh, bro, like I was like, well done, man. Well done. But I'm just saying, don't look up history. Just don't do that. Because it was like
they could tell you in the break.
Yeah, this is definitely ticket after dark. This is not for prime time. So we appreciate you guys. Anyway, James T. Kirk, stop it. See, he trying to be funny. Talking about maybe the guards are using your program as disciplinary measure. Something misbehaving guys have to listen to.
I had to listen to
Well, that's rude.
You just wrong, James T. Kirk. You ain't even say what's up. So shame on you. Double.
You
twice.
shouldn't even read it.
Right.
Don't read any text that don't start with that.
Just to keep it in.
Yeah.
Just to keep it in.
Obviously.
Yeah, there's that. So Rico, while you're here, we'll ask the question. Because I wanted to ask Jay this question because I wanted to kind of understand it. For you, if there's an adjustment, forget personnel.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a thing that needs to be fixed that is easily fixable, when you watch, what's the most easily fixable thing this team can do to improve?
The most
Jay,
easily
what's
fixable.
the easy?
Oh, ask again, man. I was reading something.
Oh, somebody texted from.
No, I was reading.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Why'd you look it up? Oh, you looked it up.
I couldn't help it.
You looked it up.
You couldn't wait till the break.
I couldn't.
Hey, Jay.
I almost said
Jay.
we need to go to break.
Right.
Hey, Jay. Right? Right?
Right. You got it right.
I was damn.
Right.
I was just like,
right.
All right, ask the question again. I'm controlling.
Man's
Matter of fact,
wasn't
Rico,
prepared.
I need one of those cookies, please.
Which one?
The one with all the cookies in there.
This one?
Yeah.
Big one. So
I need 2 of them, Rico.
I'm gonna have Mark take you the bag.
He trying to settle. Just take it back.
I'm
He's trying to settle
I
down.
need some comfort food.
No, yeah, you do.
Oh man, that's deep. Big Frank, we appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. So
what's the question?
So
now?
aside from a coaching change, because none of us, that's not a controllable thing. You're not really going to delve in that pool.
No,
But-
and to be honest with you, I would go on record. I really don't care. Well, Let me start over here,
Right,
I'm flabbergasted. I'm off my game right
this
now.
This is serious.
Regardless of how the season is, I'm not in favor of a head coaching change. Okay. Now, what can they do? What to show improvement?
What can you fix?
The most easily fixable thing.
Well, execution.
Yeah.
But execute. This is the funny thing, and this is the hard thing about coaching. It's like, yeah, when you're a coach, whether you're position coach, assistant position coach, or the head coach, yeah, ultimately you're responsible for said players, but you can't control what they do. That's the hardest thing about coaching kids these days, or college kids, is you're asking immature kids to do adult things and be adults when they might not be ready to. They might think they want it, but they don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, it'll just be execution. It's the details, a little bit more in the details, which will lead to execution. Now you're playing the gauntlet of your season, right? You're playing one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the nation. You're playing Wisconsin, who's playing top 10, 15 ball. And you got Iowa that's, right around there. I mean, they're probably, they're not, but, they'll figure it out.
They're top 25.
Yeah, but they'll figure out how to get some points. They're not going to go the rest of the season scoring 7 points a game.
Yeah.
So about three of your hardest, weeks in a row. And so, it's more of an execution, and that will lead to, more consistent drives, more consistent defensive series, and stuff like that. So, there's nothing like, of course, the easy thing. Oh, we need, can we, I'd like to score 35 points a game, of course. But, you're playing teams that most likely, kind of depending on the game, where you can get to is just, better overall play, series in and series out. You can play well in a defensive series against a team like Ohio State and they still score. You know what I'm saying?
They're that good. Yeah,
well, there's a lot of teams that are just that good, but yeah, in particular, they are just that good because, but then you got to keep bringing it. You got to stay, within yourself and within the defensive scheme, and then conversely in the, with your offensive scheme. If you come out and you're trying to establish a run and it doesn't work out, you got to stick. You got to stick to it because eventually it'll pop. You've seen it popped against Minnesota numerous times. Oregon had plenty of success. Penn State really didn't do it, but they had a little bit of, some gaps there. So there's you can move the ball against them. Nebraska did it last year. So, you shouldn't be showing up at this game like, worried that you're going to get blown out of the water. The biggest thing is that they have to do is just worry about what they do. Because when they play well, when they play with an edge and play with controlled aggression or whatever you want to call it, they play well. When they show up and don't play as a unit and kind of out there kind of hem and haw and tip, just kind of looks all janky, and then they don't look well, they don't look good. And it's obviously, look, it's a hard season. This season did not go the way anybody envisioned to go besides the people that wanted it to go this way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The people that want turmoil and want they're sitting back and having a good old fall or whatever it is.
You know what? That's just crazy to me that there are people that
How much I trust you guys. I'm eating this off the floor.
I wouldn't.
You don't.
You're a brave soul.
Ooh.
And I
It was
guess.
good, too.
Hey, we had somebody tell us during our show they'd rather have Nebraska lose by 100 than lose by 3.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand rooting against your community, like or your school, your like I don't. Like I that's just me. But okay, so here's the other question, and you can join in because Nick knows this question. For you two, what is it what's this virtual vortex wall bubble that exists over Lincoln, Nebraska, that does not exist over Columbus, Ohio?
What do you mean?
Columbus, Ohio.
There isn't one. There isn't one. Look, DP. There was a couple. It was, I think it might have been last year. Maybe it was this year. A couple months ago, I asked that exact question. I said, "What is the difference between Lincoln and Columbus that keeps Lincoln, Nebraska from being so successful? Like why is it so hard to
about the football program?
to bring
I mean, come on, are you kidding me?
No, I'm not talking about the football program though. I'm just talking about overall. Like, what's so different between Columbus and Lincoln that attracts so many more people to Columbus for the football program, for that football program to be successful, where Lincoln, Nebraska has had so much success. They have the history, they have everything to go with it.
Well, we know
where
you can be elite here. We know that you can be
right.
elite.
Yeah, but you can't get people to Lincoln to help build this program back to maybe not exactly back to what it used to be, but back to a respectable program. Like what keeps people from coming here?
Well, in Ohio, there's probably, say if they sign a class of 20, what 14, 15 could come from Ohio, right? Legitimately, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the answer right there.
Well, but that's not the case. I mean, because you're talking about Ohio State, you're talking about Cincinnati.
We're talking about Ohio State. There's Cincinnati, you know what I mean? That's not even close.
Okay, but Cincinnati's
been successful.
That's another thing that's happening that I'm still trying to figure out. How is it Cincinnati's finding success, right? If the bubble exists over Lincoln, Nebraska, how is it happening for Cincinnati?
But they're not in the Power 5 conference.
They will be. They will be in 2 years.
Yeah, I don't think
2 years.
Yeah, I don't think they care. Like this point, they're top 5 in the country.
Right, not this year, yeah.
Right, and they've been there for 3 years.
But it's different getting up for a game or 2 games versus getting up for games.
Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, what is it?
Well,
about?
I mean, you can build a program easier if you can just build it within your state lines.
Are you saying that you can't build it from? Because that's been a whole other discussion. People have said,
but the amount of depth, though. I mean, this is what you're missing. The amount of depth in the state of Ohio is big. Is probably more deeper than I'm even giving it credit for. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then
But Ohio State's not getting every star player in
they're
Ohio
not,
because
they're
dipping into Texas, they're dipping into Alabama,
exactly.
they're dipping into Florida,
if they score,
where they don't have to take all those guys out of Ohio. So there's people in Ohio that are extremely talented that are leaving the state.
Right, and they're going to Michigan State, and they're going to Cincinnati, and that's why you see them.
So that's from the roster, 25% of Ohio State's roster is from Ohio. Everybody else was from outside.
25%.
25% is from Ohio. Everybody else is from outside Ohio.
The starters are from 25%.
I'm looking at. I'm just reading it. Just
the roster.
Just from
forget the roster. No, the guys that play.
Okay,
where are they from?
All right, let's go through. C.J. Stroud, Inland Empire, California. Right, that's fair.
I mean, quarterbacks is different, but yeah.
Okay, let me go through. Chris Olave, California. McCall, California. Fleming at receiver, Pennsylvania. Garrett Wilson from Austin, Texas. Savion Banks from Florida.
So essentially what they're doing is they're getting their skill guys from wherever. And I mean, you're asking a question is just you're asking a question in present time that 2 universities that over the last 20 some years were ran totally different.
Okay, that part.
It's been. I mean,
but I think you're
totally different. Yeah. So it's people think like, okay, we hire Steve Peterson, fire Frank Solich, and then you think these moves just only affect 4 years of Bill Callahan. Oh no. This you don't get justification of your bad decisions until like 5 or 10 years after you make it and after that dude's gone.
Well, but look, before Urban Meyer, it was a train wreck. They were under investigation, and they had three bad coaches back to back.
What do you mean?
Well, relative to where they were.
Bad coaches.
Jim Tressel won that championship.
Yeah, but based on who? The guy before him?
Yeah, it was John Cooper.
Okay, was that Cooper's team?
Well, yeah, but you're making my point though. So you're making my point. The reason why John Cooper got fired is because he couldn't beat Michigan. Not that he couldn't recruit, and not that he couldn't beat everybody else. He couldn't beat Michigan.
You're actually making my point for me. The standard of Ohio State is the thing that crosses the vortex.
No. How it's ran.
Okay.
How it's ran. It's not about the standard. So just because you got a standard and it's not executed, that's null and void. What they've able to do, they've had stability from athletic department, athletic directors. It's never changed. When those guys come to Ohio State, it never changes. Even when they're hired. Yeah, you're the athletic director, but here's your playbook. So go do it. It does not change.
I think you really are making my point for me.
Wouldn't that be the standard for Ohio State? That's the playbook that they have that they hand to the athletic director.
Right,
where you're not going to change anything about this because this is how we run things.
But you're asking why Nebraska is not successful though.
Who does Nebraska have? Like, who is their Michigan? Who is Nebraska's? See, Nebraska doesn't have a Michigan. They do not have a Michigan. They do not have a thing
because they
that
haven't been
they
good
have
enough
to
to have
do
a
every
Michigan.
year. That they have to do every year. That they
They're new to the Big Ten, though. I mean, you're
they
comparing
haven't had a
Nebraska to Michigan or Ohio State and Michigan that goes back like 40, 50 years.
Let's compare them to Wisconsin.
It doesn't. They've only been in the Big Ten for like 10 years.
So is it?
There is no like true rivalry that goes back 50 years. We've been in the Big Ten like barely over 10 years. I don't even know how long we've been here. It's got to be around 10 years. So there is no comparison. That's why there's no comparison to Ohio State and Michigan. These are deep-rooted organizations that when they do have turnover, you don't have like somebody that's way over here and then the next one is way over here. Then we're going to try to
Wasn't it Texas and Oklahoma? Like, doesn't that standard still exist?
Well, you're not even playing them.
No, you played Oklahoma and you didn't beat them, and so now there's chaos.
You're not.
You're
way off on this.
I'm asking the question. I'm trying to get clarity.
But you're asking why Nebraska is not able to be as successful as Ohio State for a long period of time, and I'm giving you a clear answer.
So
because
now why can't they be successful now? What is happening in Ohio State?
That's like asking somebody. Like, why isn't whoever with the number one pick in the NBA draft, why isn't he as good as Michael Jordan?
Michigan State asked the very same question.
Right, and they had, to their defense, Mel Tucker's a great coach, but you know what Mel Tucker's able to do? He's able to get 21 transfers without sitting out.
Couldn't Nebraska have done that?
No, because prior to COVID, you weren't able to do that.
But once COVID hit, the portal was open.
Yeah, for 21 guys? No, you can't. They've already had guys that they've already signed and committed. It's a totally different situation.
They could have put dudes in the walk-on program.
No,
you carry 150 deep.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Why? Okay, let me ask you this: if you have a scholarship to Iowa, and Nebraska comes here to walk on, what are you going to do?
Well,
what are you going to do if you can't pay for it? Why would you go somewhere and walk on and you have Power 5 offers?
But they're both Power 5 offers.
No,
but one's paid for.
One's paid for. When you're a walk-on, you're paying.
I would say this. My personal choice was I went somewhere else. So I'm the wrong dude to ask that because I could have gone to UVA. I could have gone to Virginia, and I chose VCU.
But in general,
because I knew I could go there and
somewhere and walk on when they have 4 or 5 of offers.
Okay,
it's not. That's just not going to happen.
If you're telling me that the business behind this is keeping Nebraska from
that's not. But that's not what you asked me.
Okay,
you asked me comparing Ohio State and Nebraska. It's called. You're not understanding.
Is there anything different about Ohio State and Nebraska football that Nebraska can't change and address?
Yeah, but the change isn't overnight, though.
Okay, that's the question.
The change isn't overnight.
That's the question.
You're trying to compare a well-oiled machine to a machine to. Okay,
Go ahead and finish that.
Okay,
go ahead and finish it. Because that's where I was.
You're trying to compare a well-oiled, I guess, Mercedes or whatever, and yeah, they've kind of had a little oil change or whatever here and there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the worst, when you're talking about John Cooper being like they're low end, we're talking about Mike Riley. We're talking about Sean Eichhorst.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Steve Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. You're comparing two different. Like, it's not even a comparison. It's almost disrespectful to even be saying that. You know what makes Iowa's good? You can't tell me
that strikes me as a little low self-esteem to tell me that Nebraska has dipped itself to a place where they're conceding this to anybody. Jay, that's not what you built, man. That is not what y'all built.
Considering
that is not what y'all built.
But who's anybody though?
Pick anybody. Pick Cincinnati. How come Nebraska's not Cincinnati?
How come
How come Nebraska's not Coastal Carolina?
Okay.
How come Nebraska's not Virginia Tech and Michael Vick getting to the championship game? How come it's not? There's a whole list of things. The Nebraska that you guys
how
built.
good is Virginia Tech right now?
No.
How good is Virginia Tech right now?
They just lost their Tom Osborne.
Okay,
They just lost their Tom Osborne.
I don't care who they lost.
No,
I'm asking
this is your argument.
No,
this was your
how
your
good is
argument
Virginia Tech right now?
Wait, your argument was, matter of fact,
Very
what,
bad.
5 wins? No, how many? 4 wins?
Virginia Tech is horrible.
Oh, they're terrible.
They're
terrible.
okay,
They're
they're
terrible.
very bad.
Virginia Tech, you
They're
just
terrible.
made my point.
They're terrible.
You're trying to compare Ohio State.
Virginia Tech's not Nebraska.
But you just
right?
mentioned them.
I'm saying this to you. What
You just
Nebraska
mentioned
was.
Virginia Tech.
No, I meant look. Virginia Tech.
Coastal
doesn't-
Carolina isn't. What are they? Just they do the great thing because they're in the top 25.
It's a great thing.
No,
It's a
That's-
fantastic
you know
thing.
What you know,
That's a fantastic thing.
for them.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
not. I mean, what is that doing though?
Look, I'm trying to figure out.
But you're asking questions, hearing the answer, and asking the question again to get the answer that you want. It's
No.
not- it's not- it's not.
No. I'm
It's simple. It's to
I
me, it's
am-
like black and white. though.
I am accepting what you say. There's
Right.
don't trip. I'm accepting what you say. For me, I'm trying to understand.
So you're saying a coach can come in here after Mike Riley and be like, okay, we're going to win in 2 years. If you do, then I used to be like that, but that's just not the way that's just not the way it works. There's different things that happen and all this other stuff. You just can't do that. You can't compare. There is no comparison out there.
There's no comparison there.
Who's a comparison? Where's Mike Riley? Where's Mike Riley right now? Besides sitting at home collecting a check. Where's a coach like Mike Riley that was at a blue blood that's got somebody else coming in? How many times has Auburn fired their coaches? They're thinking about firing Dan Mullen right now.
You talking about Florida?
My friend is a
Talking about
defensive
Florida.
coordinator. They're coaching for their job right now. Now, this week, this season, they're coaching for their job.
Once again, I'll just point this out. If that was happening, if that thinking was here,
We'd be on how many coaches that Florida have had? What's the dude that was in the pool with the Sharks?
okay. So let me ask you this then:
Florida was top 10 last
would you rather be where Nebraska is right now or where Florida is right now?
Florida.
I mean,
They were top 10 last year.
Okay,
Right.
we'll throw it to break. We'll finish this because Jay's right, but I need to get to what I need to get to is for information's sake. Old school. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
From Mexican tree pheasants to smoked pigeon street tacos and tagging tiger and blacktip sharks, plus chasing big and dangerous game. This week on The Revolution with Jim and Trav, it's all about the DIY outdoorsman. Joining the boys is Master Chef and outdoorsman Scott Lasath from Dead Meat and the intrepid Dave Folson with Trigicon's World of Sports Afield. The Revolution is presented by Outdoor Channel, Sportsman Channel, World Fishing Network, and My Outdoor TV. Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Lincoln's Ticket to Sports.
The workday is long, the bills are due, and sometimes you just need to relax. There's no better way to do that than in your brand new hot spring spa from Bonsall Pool and Spa. With hot tubs as low as $75 per month and interest-free financing, you're sure to find the perfect spa to fit your lifestyle. So get over to Bonsall Pool and Spa today and check out their selection of hot spring spas. Bonsall Pool and Spa, 33rd and Highway 2. Every day made better.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill has food and drink specials every night for all the games. Enjoy jumbo pork tenderloin for $8.99 and 90-cent wings for Monday Night Football, or come for Thursday Night Football with chicken fried chicken, steak, or pork for just $9.99 and $20 Coors Light aluminum buckets. Watch college football on Saturdays with an Aggie sandwich for $9.99 and Coors Light specials, and catch NFL Sundays with Bloody Marys and more. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Some patchy fog will be possible this morning, but overall cloudy and a bit cool here for our Tuesday. We'll top out near 46 with a light south wind at 5. Areas of fog possible again tonight with a low down to around 29. And not much of an improvement tomorrow. Partly cloudy with a high of around 47. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. For first round of football playoffs are in the books. On Friday, Lincoln East fell to Gretna in a high-scoring game, 59-42. It was a battle of the quarterbacks as Noah Walters from East had 6 touchdowns, 5 in the air and 1 on the ground. Zane Flores from Gretna would answer with 4 touchdowns himself. In other football matchups, Lincoln Southeast lost to Omaha Burke 21-3. Waverly beat Northwest in a dominant fashion, scoring on 6 straight drives, 59-13. Norris lost in their game to Omaha Scott, 31-10. Lincoln Lutheran went over Gordon Rushville, 31-15. In 6-man, Parkview Christian won their game over Silver Lake, 50-38. In volleyball, the playoffs will kick off at Pinnacle Bank Arena this week. Lincoln Southwest, who's 30-4, will play Omaha Westside. Norris, 32-2, will play Adams Central. Waverly, 23-11, will play Northwest, and Lincoln Lutheran, 32-2, faces Bishop Newman. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years, and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's downtown spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the sidetrack band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P.
Welcome to Friendly Neighbors. Welcome to maintenance-free living. Welcome to Carriage Glen. Welcome home. It's everything you'd want in an active 55-plus rental community right here in Lincoln. Spacious floor plans, numerous amenities, beautiful surroundings near Holmes Lake, and much more. Plus, with Carriage Glen's current move-in special, you can save thousands if you act now. Carriage Glen invites you to take a personal tour or visit them online at carriageglenoflincoln.com. Discover the place you'll love to call home.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Old School. We're trying to figure out. So you were making a point. The date. So the last of the Riley guys are gone. Is this Scott's roster?
I mean, I guess. I mean, any roster that he's coaching is his roster. I mean, it's.
But most of the guys are gone,
I
other
think
than the
so.
super
Yeah, I
seniors.
think so.
The
Yeah.
super seniors. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have to. I mean, because of COVID, you just never know.
Yeah, that
Sure,
COVID year
yeah.
kind of put things up. From the Sartor Heyman text line, yeah, we're trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out. Like Jay's comfortable where he is. I'm trying to figure out. For me, what needs to happen?
They need to play better. Period. Play better.
But you know that's oversimplification. It's not just that. It can't be.
It's
Right, like
85%
it
of
can be. You
It's a,
like
it,
so
to
your
me,
so
I'm
your
to the
kids.
point where I think it's almost. I wouldn't say it's a personal choice, but
Yeah.
it's a personal decision.
So your kids playing, like you got 8th graders, right? And at some point, if you said to them, "Y'all just got to play better," would that be a statement of resignation, or is that a statement of resolve? Like, which one is that?
I'm not going to resign, but I'm not going to sit up there and lie to them and say, like, if they're not playing good, I'm not going to tell you that you're playing good.
Okay, but you would coach them to play better.
Yeah, but if they keep playing, I mean, but sometimes people fight it, and they fight it in different ways. It could be outwardly, inwardly. You could
Okay.
kind of act like you're doing it. There's people that here's an example. You could have somebody that's playing hard,
Okay.
looks like they're playing hard, right? But they're not playing with the right intentions. So actually, you're causing a lot of chaos in basketball.
Okay.
That's just where it's at. Now, to the person that just walks into the gym, you be like, oh man, Nick plays hard. He's all over the place. Well, you just punched a hole in any type of matchup zone, man-to-man defense we've done, because now you left me and you to guard 4 dudes.
Right. Wow.
So you got to play better. You got to. I mean, I mean, at the end of the day, you got. I mean,
but that's like that's saying the Big Ten Conference is a players' conference rather than a coaches' conference. And if it's not a coaches' conference, then you're paying a whole lot.
I'm not saying that you don't got to coach better.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, if you're coaching, you gotta go play better, dude.
Whose record does it go to though?
Well,
it goes to the
wins and losses of the coaches, but
Yeah.
that's you're trying to get to a place. I'm not going. You're not. I'm more savvy than that. It's not. I know football good enough. I know when guys can play better, they can play better, and I have no problem telling them either.
Well, see that part.
I have no problem telling them. That doesn't mean I don't like you.
Part.
That doesn't mean it's personal.
Okay.
All you got to do is play better.
Okay.
Like, dude, you might need to prepare better. If you need to prepare better, then that's a personal choice. There's only 20 hours a week, right? That's meetings. That's meetings, weight room, practice.
Right.
So after that, if you, like I always said, if you want to be just average as a player, just punch your clock and your scholarship check will clear, and you'll be able to go to do whatever, and that show up on time. Keep your nose clean, get decent grades, go to meetings, practice hard, and when you play, you'll usually get the fruits of your labor. If you want to be great, I can guarantee you I can guarantee a high percentage of, if we're talking about Ohio State, those guys are doing overtime when it's when it's during the season and before the season, in the off season.
That's really good, because then that tells me that there is a difference between the players and their
I mean, there's guys that done their work hard, but you're asking me what I would tell anybody is, dude, you got to play better. You got to find a way to do something different than what you've been doing, because what you've been doing is 3-6, right, or whatever the record is.
But
and it's not all directly correlated, but you could definitely can see areas where everybody could play better.
So if Nick, let's say this, Nick's playing catcher for you, and Nick's struggling, but Nick looks like he's working hard. You have another catcher. What do you say to Nick?
Well, it depends on what he's struggling at. You need to work on your weaknesses. Are you asking me whether Logan Smothers needs?
No. No. I don't know.
I mean, that's a coaching decision. You need to ask Scott Frost.
No. I know. I'm not in that lane at all. I just want to know: do those players know? Because it would seem to me like
players know what?
Do players know they need that simply that they can impact this thing simply through what they do?
Oh, I'm sure they know.
Okay,
well, I'm sure they know. I mean, of course. I mean, these kids aren't. I mean, they're good kids. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they've had, I mean, that Purdue game, they didn't play up I'm sure they didn't play up as well as they knew they could or should, and that's part of football, and that's what makes football so hard to play, is that you have to be ready to play at your best or close to your best 12 times a year, and there's things that you control, and the hardest part is controlling it and staying with it and what you can control. And then you got to have, in this case, if you're talking about offense, defense, 21 other guys, if you count yourself, to make 22 to do all the same thing. And it all with the, you're operating individually, thinking collectively, and you got to all think the same way.
Is there a way to unite a group of players who will play better being united than players that are playing selfishly?
I mean, I like I said, I've always liked the makeup of the team. I like the whole vibe of the team. I envision that they'll play well on Saturday. So I don't think they need to, big speeches. I think they realize that the last two games wasn't their best showing, and they want to go and play well, and they probably feel confident. They should feel confident playing against anybody. They've played everybody, whether at the end of the day, it matters wins and losses, but at the end of the day, they've played everybody to the last few minutes or whatever you want, neck and neck. In some cases, gave away games against highly ranked teams, so they're not going to show up here and be like, "Oh man, we just need to lay over and just get this over with, and let's try to push fast forward on the clock." Assuming they're going to come out and compete.
Well, they're still building resume.
Yeah. So,
there's still tape there. So, Nick, let's pull up. Derek is on the Honda Lincoln hotline. Let's bring him in. Derek, what's up?
Hey, DP, Jay. The other thing, too, Jay, that goes along with playing hard is playing smart.
Right.
And when you can add both of those elements together, and I'll give you a case in point, Garrett Nelson. I mean, his first year, he was a dynamo, but he didn't necessarily line up correctly. He didn't necessarily read the keys, but look at him today and you see playing hard and smart does make a difference. The one thing I want to touch on, though, DP, about what makes Nebraska different and also unique from all the other programs, especially the Ohio programs, et cetera, is that we have a state of about 2 million people, which means in any given year, you've got about 1 to 3 scholarship type of players that you're going to want to pull from the state. And that varies. But the thing that I think we've gotten away from recruiting wise is getting the best from North Dakota, getting the best from South Dakota, and now you've got teams like Minnesota who've had recent success that are kind of competing for us against us for those players. And the thing that concerns me is that I believe recruiting and the overall talent level has taken a big dip. I mean, not a big dip, but a noticeable dip. Otherwise, Coach Frost wouldn't be playing with 7 or 8 of Mike Riley's players right now. And so, you know, I think the culture thing and the level of athlete thing, I think that was overplayed a little bit. I want to see us get back to solid recruiting in the Midwest, including St. Louis and also Minneapolis, because we've had good success there as well as Denver for metro areas. And I think that's what's going to get this team back on course. If you go back and you look at Frost's offense when he had Mo Washington, you could really see how that offense is designed to work. He doesn't have the speed that he needs right now. And I'd like to hang up and listen to what you guys have to say. Great show.
Thanks, D. Jay, what do you got? What's your response?
You know, I think you see this in the NFL draft, and I think it starts, I don't know, I guess you could say middle school or Pee Wee leagues, but I just think there's a tremendous amount of athletes out there, right? Because they can go, and there's more places to go get trained, right, to make you a better athlete earlier in your athletic career. But there's not a lot of good football players anymore. There's not, and and that's the hardest thing to do, and is when you have, and this is high school coaching, and even before, the way that these running these high school programs, they're just trying to out athlete everybody, but they're not teaching them football. So then once they get here or a college, it's a big change, and it's win now, win at all costs, and stuff like that. So the ability to develop kids is sometimes a little bit harder. Also, like after, I don't know, sometime in the 2000s when the landscape of college football changed and they wanted more parity, it's not going to affect the Ohio State, Michigan. It shouldn't affect places like Texas, Bama, and all those type of places, right? It wouldn't. It shouldn't, in theory. That's when you really look at who they've hired as a coach, X, Y, and Z. Like you see the downfall of a school like Florida State, and also sometimes like a Miami, is really based on coaching and what the right fit is. It'll affect places like Nebraska more because what you used to have when it wasn't as much parity is that you'll get the kids that'll come here and wait a couple years and then they'll be ready to go. Now they can be on TV at the same amount at Ohio University, at MAC schools and stuff like that. So it's a lot different. And, you really don't know what you have as a recruiting class until they're, 4 or 5 years into this thing. You really don't know what you have yet. Because you could, I've played with a ton of guys that were, I don't even know what it was, blue chip All-Americans way back in the day or USA Today, whatever it's called. And, they couldn't bust a grape, weren't worth a plum nickel. And then you got other guys that end up being pretty good. So it's just a matter of, the circumstances, how they like competition and how they, are put in positions to develop, but then also how they develop themselves. How much I keep saying it, how much work are you going to do outside of your regularly accounted for hours is really going to, separate you two. And it has nothing to do with coaching. If me and Nick are competing for a spot and we're somewhat close athletically, but I have a little bit more dedication to my craft, and Nick could actually be a better athlete than me. But if I put in more time and have more reps, I mean, Nick will never be able to beat me out just because he won't have the football, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the football like movements, won't have the confidence in what he's doing. I actually probably might be able to play faster than Nick because I know what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and why I'm doing it. And, and then I'm probably obviously more of a competitor, and that's just, where it's at. I just think that, Nebraska, extremely young team. Obviously, you see it the way they play at times, and that's why you see the up and down. You see them, say for, a couple quarters, they look really good, and you see a couple quarters, they look like they can't get out of their own way, and then it's always like a mix and match, and you never really know what you got because they're an extremely young team, and when you have a young team with a lack of experience, and then that's what you get. This is not making excuses for the record. I know Bill Parcells it was a famous quote: "You are what your record says you are, and you earn your record." But ultimately, every record is not the same. But Nebraska has done, enough to themselves, whether it's self-induced, penalties and all, or whatever it is, whatever it was, at the beginning of the season, we couldn't, go without like a legal procedure penalty. Then it was something else. So we had to, we got to get out of our own way.
Well, it's all of that. Like I said, if there was a magic cure, I think we would have had it by now. Matthew, sit tight on the Honda Lincoln hotline. We'll get back to you right after the break. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The workday is long, the bills are due, and sometimes you just need to relax. There's no better way to do that than in your brand new hot spring spa from Bonzal Pool & Spa. With hot tubs as low as $75 per month and interest-free financing, you're sure to find the perfect spa to fit your lifestyle. So get over to Bonzal Pool & Spa today and check out their selection of hot spring spas. Bonzal Pool & Spa, 33rd and Highway 2. Every day made better.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Welcome to today's episode of The Great Unknowns. Last time, we talked about why chickens can't just cross the road in peace. Today's topic is the great unknowns of the future. Like, am I ready for what life throws at me? Well, that answer is easy. Just call a local State Farm agent. State Farm agents will help you plan for the what-ifs in life so you know what to expect if the unexpected happens. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years, and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's downtown spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the sidetrack band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P.
The faculty and staff of Wilber-Claytonia School District asks, would you hold a child's hand while crossing a busy street? Well, think of the internet as the world's busiest street, and it's replete with predators and cyber bullies. Parents, make sure your student is neither victim nor victimizer. Monitor online visits and make sure they're not texting or talking while driving, biking, or walking. This important message is brought to you by Wilber-Claytonia School District, where the safety and welfare of our children is their number one concern. For information on our schools, call 402-821-2266 or visit wilberclaytonia.org.
Welcome to Friendly Neighbors. Welcome to maintenance-free living. Welcome to Carriage Glen. Welcome home. It's everything you'd want in an active 55-plus rental community right here in Lincoln. Spacious floor plans, numerous amenities, beautiful surroundings near Holmes Lake, and much more. Plus, with Carriage Glen's current move-in special, you can save thousands if you act now. Carriage Glen invites you to take a personal tour or visit them online at carriageglenoflincoln.com. Discover the place you'll love to call home.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Some patchy fog will be possible this morning, but overall cloudy and a bit cool here for our Tuesday. We'll top out near 46 with a light south wind at 5. Areas of fog possible again tonight with a low down to around 29. and not much of an improvement tomorrow. Partly cloudy with a high of around 47. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. This month's specials are Sam Adams, Exile Brewing from Iowa, and other fall seasonals. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch Crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street.
Join DP and Jay Foreman on Wednesday at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. DP goes 1-on-1 with Husker Online Sean Callahan at 3, and Jay joins from 4 to 6 p.m. to preview the Ohio State game and more. That's all this Wednesday at Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill.
Back to Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Old School. Let's go to the Honda Lincoln Hotline. Take Matthew for a quick call so we can get him in before we get to the top of the hour. Matthew, thanks for waiting. What's up?
Hey, fellas. Appreciate you guys taking my call. Man, I love the show. I love the program. Something that I've noticed that's changed over time, and again, I'm not old enough to remember the glory days all that much outside of listening to it on the radio, but whatever happened to dudes waiting their turn. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, you didn't play as a freshman. You didn't play as a sophomore. Jay, I'm sure you can talk to this. I mean, unless you were the stud of studs, right? I mean, you would sit there and you would learn from the guys above you. You would learn from the people playing ahead of you. Then when it was your turn, you got your shot. Anymore, I feel like if they're not starting as freshmen or they're not starting as sophomores, first of all, the entire state of Nebraska goes into an uproar. Why did you take these guys? Why did you recruit these guys if you ain't going to play them? I mean, anybody ever thought, hey, maybe they're not ready yet, physically, mentally, the playbook? I mean, I don't know. Just a random thought. I'll shut up and listen to you guys. Appreciate you, boys.
Thanks, Matt. Jay, what do you think?
Well, it's different now where when you went to college back when I did, is like, it was guaranteed you were going to sit out a year. So you were going to be there for 4 or 5 years anyways, and that's just the way it was. Now these guys can transfer freely, and it's more prevalent every single year. So like I said, I always say a lot of kids like getting recruited. They don't like playing. They love, I would say that they love getting recruited. They like playing. You got to love football. Yeah. And that's across the nation. That's just the way it is. I mean, the transfer portal, in theory, was going to be good because then it would, instead of like down in Georgia, right? They had, was it Fromm down there, and then they signed Justin Fields, and then they had the other guy behind him that was a number one. So it kind of held coaches somewhat accountable that you can't go stockpile 3 number one quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, Eason left to go to Washington. So in theory, that was it. But guys jump in there without a plan. Then next thing you know, they're off the radar, and you never know what happens. And I don't think that today's every kid that plays high school football. Okay, so there's millions of kids that play high school football across the nation, or every kid that goes to college. All of them thinking it's just I'm going to college and it's a pit stop and I'm going to the league.
That's all facts.
And the numbers of the people in the NFL hasn't changed. There's not a minor league, like a D league like they have in NBA. They don't have NFL Europe anymore, so you can't go over like NBA players or basketball players can go play in Europe and have a great career and make a great living and make probably more over there than bouncing around the NBA and going up and down on a 10-day contract, so forth and so on. You can't do that in football.
Right.
So you'll see guys that'll be, have 3 or 4 stops, versus like when I played, there was just one, and you waited your turn. You had to develop. You had to get there physically and mentally. And then the guys that played as a freshman, it was either they were at extreme need, and he had to be a bad dude. But but it's just a different dynamic of college football. They play younger guys now. Coaches aren't there as long. I mean, let's also not forget that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're talking about developing kids, coaches leave all the time. I mean, how many times have we seen a coach, say whatever position coach, sign guys or go through like the whole recruiting? and then take another job the day after signing day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's way too common.
It's
Way too
common all
common.
the time. So it's just a different landscape of college football.
Well, it's a great perspective. The vantage is better because we need to know more. We'll throw the break, top of the hour. We'll start it all again. Jay, I want to talk about some of these Big Ten coaches. And if you asked you to tell me what your thoughts on individual coaches, how good they are, what they do well or don't do well, but mainly what they do well.
All right.
We can do that when we come back at 5 o'clock.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Experiencing increased body fat, low sex drive, lack of energy, or general fatigue? Vitalize Health offers testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy to boost hormone levels and build muscle mass. Call Vitalize Health today at 402-413-0717 or go online to vitalizehealthne.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Some patchy fog will be possible this morning, but overall cloudy and a bit cool here for our Tuesday. We'll top out near 46 with a light south wind at 5. Areas of fog possible again tonight with a low down to around 29. And not much of an improvement tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of around 47. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
The faculty and staff of Wilber-Claytonia School District asks, would you hold a child's hand while crossing a busy street? Well, think of the internet as the world's busiest street, and it's replete with predators and cyber bullies. Parents, make sure your student is neither victim nor victimizer. Monitor online visits and make sure they're not texting or talking while driving, biking, or walking. This important message is brought to you by Wilber-Claytonia School District, where the safety and welfare of our children is their number one concern. For information on our schools, call 402-821-2266 or visit wilberclaytonia.org.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hour number 2, Old School. I was sitting back, and a lot of the discussion today, especially in the Big Ten Conference, was the skill sets, the specific skill sets of different coaches. And they were trying to figure out what Mel Tucker does well, what Ryan Day does well. And they're trying to identify what Scott does well. So if I went up and down and just mentioned some coaches, you can tell me your thoughts on what they do well, right? Part of their personas, their coaching personas.
Right.
Mel Tucker. What does Mel Tucker do well?
I mean, I don't know. I'd have to call Travaris, but I'm sure just from the outside looking in, I'm sure he's. I could know from the few times that I've met him and talk. He's straightforward, straight up, which is great. He's a man's man, and he's got a ton of experience. I'm sure he is. He has a unique ability, and like I said, I don't know. I'm just guessing here, just looking at to create. A little, I don't know, like a edge, I guess, but it's not really that hard because Dan Antonio already had it there, but he had it a little bit at Colorado, which, is a unique situation where, you come in and they had a pretty good quarterback and all that. So he's able to do it. So, you can just rally the troops and he's like, I know he's real straightforward. The only reason I say that is because that Hayward was the starting running back. He wanted to go in the portal. And he said, go ahead and go. We'll welcome you back. But then he welcomed him back. He's like, all right, well, this is going to be your role if you come back. So he's straight up. I think he maybe does I don't know. It's different. Their team's different when you have a lot of guys that are coming in that are experienced versus starting over from scratch. But don't be fooled by Mel Tucker's press conference. Homeboy is on it.
Yeah.
So the Mel Tucker that you see on TV, kind of aloof, and that's not the ones that coach. That's not the dude that coaches.
Okay.
So I don't know what that's called.
Yeah, you do.
So that's what that's. I only can guess.
Yeah, you do. It was Ryan Day. What does that coaching philosophy persona seem like to you?
Oh, I think he seems like he seems like he's very smart, obviously. I think I seen one thing a couple years ago about when he was talking to the team. He seems like he motivates pretty good. I think the difference between him and Urban, he's probably a little bit more relaxed and maybe easier to talk to in his office versus guys would only go to Urban in office if they needed something or maybe we're getting, summoned. But I know Ryan Day. Don't let the rosy cheeks fool you, and always being clean cut, and he gets after it.
Yeah, it seems like there is a difference between the two, and I don't think that's a bad thing either.
But he learned a lot from Urban though, so he was able to learn from Urban. Urban kind of took a chance on him. Remember when they hired him, they were like, "Who is this dude?" And NFL teams really liked him.
Yeah.
Urban, didn't take a chance on him, but kind of groomed him. So he was able to say, okay, I'm taking this from Urban. This is what works. This is how things work at Ohio State, which is like any other university. There's a lot of politics. And so you got to be able to do that. And then he was able to take his own, put his own spices to it with not a lot of pressure. Yes, there was pressure coming after Urban Meyer, but there's not a lot of pressure when you got Justin Fields at quarterback, Olave Wilson, and you had Chase Young at defense and all those other guys. That's not a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, it's kind of like being handed a business that's already going to make you $500,000 a year. Then you got to figure out how I can kind of get this thing in year 2 or 3 to $1 million. But you're already ahead of the game. You get what I'm saying? So that's what he does well, I'm assuming. It's, he's a great coach. And he's gotten better every year. They've met the challenge, couldn't get over Clemson, and they beat them, and so forth and so on.
What are your thoughts on Jim Harbaugh?
He's a big personality. I know he knows offense, so I know he knows defense. He's a coach. He's a football coach. He loves football. I think I watched that thing where they went in a season with Michigan, so he motivates the guys. I just think, one thing I like what he does well is that I think that, his big personality, so he kind of like overshadows the players. So he kind of shields them from a lot of the probably stuff that, goes on. But, he does a good job of managing people, and he's a good coach. He's won everywhere he's been. If you can win at the University of San Diego, and I think you coached a year or two without getting paid, that's pretty good.
What is what's the best way to put this? Is Pat Fitzgerald in a good place or bad place? Do you think with his personality, you think he could do better elsewhere? Or do you think he's in the right place?
I think he could coach anywhere. Yeah. I do. I think he can clean up and kind of schmooze, but I think also he can definitely crack open a couple beers and, be at Wisconsin drinking some spotted cows and stuff like that. So I think I think Northwestern's there. He's a Chicago guy. He knows the landscape. He's probably the most prominent player ever to play there. I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect. I'm sure there's been some other great players, but look, he was the guy.
He's the one.
Yeah, he's the one. Okay, and he stayed. So he's at the right place for him, but I think he'd be successful anywhere.
Thoughts on James Franklin?
I think he's a great, or not a great. I think he's a good recruiter. I'm sure he's a great recruiter. I think he does really well as far as dealing with probably all the stuff that Happy Valley is a different place. So
yep,
his big personality in that small bubble or fish bowl of a world there in that little valley, he does well with that. I think he does a good thing of, like, again, motivating his players, challenging his players. I think he, from the few times I've heard him, talk about players individually, he challenges them, and he might even, like, in a good coach's way, call them out. But then also he's very, very protective and supportive of his players as well. So you gotta respect that, and I'm sure the guys like him.
You think he's in the Big Ten Conference next year?
No. I think he's somewhere else. I think he's kind of ran his course at Penn State. And I think he's built it up enough for whoever, if he does decide to leave, whoever comes in is going to, like Penn State, they're always going to have great recruiting classes and stuff like that. So I think, he's done his job, and he came in after Bill O'Brien and never, he didn't let it slip at all.
Kirk Ferentz.
I mean, he's a model of consistency. I think he's instilled a quiet, like, toughness and I don't know if you want to call it swagger, but just you know what I'm saying. He's a staple of that program. I think he's probably a different personality than the dry guy you see on the videos or whatever. So he's a Hall of Fame coach. I'm assuming he's done really well for that program. He's had numerous times he could have probably pursued other opportunities, and he's built it up now to where they're pretty consistent. So it used to be like Iowa would be good for like 1 or 2 years, and then they take 2 years off, probably because the recruiting classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now he's kind of like it's every single year, and they're even better the years that they're not supposed to be. And the one thing I like, I can respect about him, is that he's I probably won't say that, but yeah, I mean he's I was gonna I mean he's just been the model of consistency. I'll just leave it at that.
People have ranging opinions on PJ Fleck. What are yours?
Well, first of all, it's all about PJ, big personality, but and he has his kind of like deal that he does, right? Is like row the boat and all that stuff. He really believes it, and he gets the players to believe it. Take all that aside, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a good football coach. He is. I mean, you got to give him kudos because I just seen their runner. Their guy that's playing now is out for a season. He's down to like his 5th running back.
Mm-hmm.
They've had 4, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe 5 guys go over 100 this year. So he's built a program. The one thing I'll say about him is that he's built that program to kind of model like Minnesota people, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you
big offensive,
right?
big
Like,
offensive line, try to be physical. And then he goes down and recruits Florida. He goes and recruits, and he's a volume recruiter.
Yeah, he can sell it.
Yeah.
Jeff Brown,
phenomenal play caller. I think he's tough. The one thing I like about him, he's not afraid to make a hard decision as far as making, changes or actually changes to his program. When you have a coach that kind of throws himself out there and said he hadn't done a good job of sticking to the run, he has some self-reflection, and so again, he could have went back to Louisville, didn't, stayed. He's able to take, I don't even want to say, disrespectful, say lesser talent, but he's able to find ways to create offense with like 3 or 4 different quarterbacks, because there was a time where his top 3 quarterbacks all got hurt for numerous weeks during one season. Still was pretty productive. So, he's a good coach. I mean, all the Big Ten coaches, every single one from 1 to 14, you don't got a bad coach.
Loxley.
I think for him, when I see from him, I think he's a really good communicator. I think he's a good recruiter, because you can tell by their last class that he's really up the Maryland profile and is not afraid to go sell his product. And they're an exciting team. So I think he's a good fit for the DMV, where he can go into numerous houses from different backgrounds, and do well. He's a national championship assistant coach, obviously with Alabama, but then he's raised the profile of Maryland, and they're kind of like fit for each other, right? It's, they realize Maryland's not going to be, in the championship series, but also they're going to try to get people in the stands because they're getting athletes in that area, getting guys, and then also he's going to put up a lot of points.
Schiano.
If I could say that he fits Rutgers, he fits Jersey, and he's what he did before, he'll do it again. And if you watch Rutgers play, they're a well-coached team, and he's a football coach.
If Bielma was offering you a job, would you take it? Could you coach with Brett Bielma?
Depends on what position they offered, but I think he could. I think I could. I think at the end of the day, look, he's the head coach, so you got to deal with, he's a little quirky, but he's done a good job most of the places he's been. Obviously, Wisconsin was his best job, or best, job he did. But everybody I've talked to said he's a football coach. I think his personality is different, considering the run-ins with players at the professional level. Let it's probably would be a little bit different coaching for him, unless you're just a guy trying to get started and you got to kind of deal with sometimes those coaches.
Tom Allen.
Oh, I love Tom Allen. Extreme motivator, very, very passionate guy, loves Indiana. I think he's great. I've interviewed him a couple times. He's all football coach. There's no doubt that he's going to probably turn him around next year, just because I'm sure he's extremely motivated. And obviously, he thinks that they should be a lot better.
Paul Chris.
Oh, Paul Chris, I always say he's the dude that if you ever could just close your eyes and look at somebody that would be in their garage making things out of wood, that's him.
Okay.
But I like him as a coach. I think he fits Wisconsin. Like I keep saying, there's not a bad coach in the Big Ten. You got the best coaches with, I think, the best players, if not the best players, very close to the best players. That's what makes it so hard winning in this league.
Who's the best offensive coach?
I don't know. I guess you got to say Ryan Day, because they got the best offense. I mean, you got the best players in the best offense, so you got to, I got to say Ryan Day.
Can you say that defensively? Who's the best defensive team?
Oof. Well, I guess I'd probably say, just off the top of my head, I would say, I guess Jim Leonard, the defense coordinator from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You could do that, or Iowa. I guess I'm not really. I like Shenander though.
It's not
I like
down
Shenander.
well,
I like Shenander though, so I got to throw him in there. So I can't just say one, right? I would say my 3: Shenander, Leonard. Let me think here, because you're making me think. Then I have a tie between Iowa and Michigan's defensive coordinator.
Okay. All right. Quarterbacks in the Big Ten Conference. Receivers in the Big Ten Conference.
Who has the best ones?
Mm-hmm. Is it Ohio State?
Ohio State got the best. They got the best. They got the best. They got best skills in the Big Ten.
But who's next?
Heck, if I don't know, I don't see all these teams. I don't know.
Well, you know who you would want to run up on.
I'd run up on any of them. But, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I think every team has like one or two guys. But I just think Ohio State has guys at every single position.
Is because there was a time when Minnesota may have been second. Michigan thought itself to be in the top group, but I'm not sure that's the case now.
Well, Michigan's top two receivers got hurt. Minnesota's receiving.
Indiana's quarterback got hurt.
Yeah,
so.
And then that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like mix and match. You got to throw Adrian in there as a quarterback. Quiet as kept. Michigan State's receivers are pretty good, and their running back is the real deal.
Right.
Quarterback's a little suspect. Penn State has Dotson. He's legit. Indiana has Folkhauser or whatever his name is. He's legit. And so there's guys that everywhere. So but I just think Ohio State has top rated guys at every single position.
Is the play of the year going to be from Ohio State, Michigan State, or anywhere else? And put everybody else in the pool.
Walker III should be the player of the year.
But if Ohio State wins the Big Ten Conference, do you think Stroud could have the kind of performance to move through?
If he does, it's because he's there. But the MVP of the league is Kenneth Walker III.
Right. So that plays into effect, right? Is he the Heisman front runner?
He's been the most consistent, and they're undefeated. If they can continue to bust out victories, and he's hitting teams up for 120, 25 yards. I mean, he hit Michigan's defense for 2 bills. He's got to win the Heisman. I don't know who else would. I mean, you could say the guy from Oklahoma, yeah, but I mean, he didn't start the whole season.
Right.
I mean, granted, he's had some memorable plays and he's done some great things, but the overlooked production that he's doing, considering that when everybody gets off the bus, that's the first thing that they're thinking about is stopping him. And they ain't stopped him yet. Nobody stopped him yet.
Can Michigan State win the Big Ten Conference?
They would have to beat Ohio State to get in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, if they beat Ohio State, then yeah.
Can they beat Ohio State?
I'm sure. I mean, yeah, they could if they can run the ball, control the clock. I think. I mean, look, Michigan State ain't for them to come back from 16 down against Michigan. They got a little bit of heart. So playing Ohio State, they ain't gonna blink twice.
Tonight, you get the first look at the playoff pool. Who do you think are the top 4, maybe top 6 of the country? Who are the ones that are at the top of the pyramid tonight?
Georgia, obviously. Bama. Michigan State's got to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma, reluctantly, they just haven't. I mean, they're up undefeated, so that's the 4. Ohio State, for sure, and then after that, I don't really know.
No Cincinnati.
Oh, Cincinnati for sure. Yeah, Cincinnati.
Okay.
It'd be interesting where Alabama and Cincinnati's at.
But you kind of think that they wouldn't want Alabama to play Cincinnati. So
Cincinnati don't want to play Alabama. But what I'm saying is Cincinnati's undefeated. Oklahoma's undefeated. Georgia's undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And Michigan State's undefeated. So you think those got to be your top 4, right? But you never know because Alabama could be in there.
Yeah, to look at it and go, okay.
I think people. I like Cincinnati. Cincinnati's done everything they need to do for a team outside of the Power 5 to be in there, and if they continue, they should be in there.
If they continue to win, they're in. You think simple?
They should. Yeah, okay, I'll ask you this: if Cincinnati and Oklahoma plays, who do you think wins?
Oklahoma.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, you got Oregon as an outsider. You got Notre Dame as an outsider, kind of peeking in over the fence just to see how this thing plays out. But I think, look, if Cincinnati burps,
it's over.
You got to
it's over. Yeah, they're not getting in with a loss. But I don't know. I mean, Oklahoma. I mean, Cincinnati. Offensively, aren't as explosive as Oklahoma. There's been times they look like they've struggled offensively.
Can the Big Ten Conference get 2 teams into the playoffs?
Depends on how the records end up.
If both Michigan State and Ohio State finish with 1 loss, and Michigan State's loss is only in the Big Ten Conference game, so they're undefeated going into the Big Ten.
Well,
Big
couldn't, because
Ten
then if they would have been Ohio State, and Ohio State would have 2 losses.
Well, they had to beat Ohio State once, right?
Yeah, and Ohio State already lost to Oregon.
Okay,
So
but that was out of conference. So whoever wins that their head-to-head, when is their head-to-head game? Are they playing each other?
Yeah, it's got to be soon.
Okay. Yeah, that might make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we think that Alabama gets in even with 1 loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
If the rest of them stay undefeated, I'm not sure that works.
I don't know. I ain't trying to see Oklahoma in there. I've seen that movie.
And I'm trying. I don't want to see. Sorry, Cincinnati. I don't want to see Cincinnati in it. Right?
You don't want to see Cincinnati?
No, because then you'll end up with 2 Ohio teams in it, and that's just unbearable. That's just going to be too much.
Ohio.
No, that's just. I got too many Ohio friends that would be too much. Like that would just be too much. Like they don't. You ever been around Bengals fans when they do well, or Reds fans?
Yeah.
They're not nice people when they're winning.
No.
So if you got 2 Ohio teams in there, they're used to throwing all their chips in if it's Ohio State. If both of them there, we're going to have to fight. I'm going to have to fight some people.
Jamie Burrow played with me, and his brother Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
He was all over social media talking about who they. He ain't saying nothing after them Jets dug up in that butt.
You lost to the Jets.
Bad, too.
Like, you gave up 400.
Yeah, passing.
You gave up 400. That does. Yeah, I don't know if I can. I don't think I can stand 2 Ohio teams in playoffs.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on Cincinnati because if they go in there and get the brakes beat off them, people hold that against them, another team in the future.
Well, but this is the thing. And Andrew just said, Cincinnati would have 2 losses in the Big Ten, but they're not. They're not. Like, that's what everybody said about UCF. They're not taking any losses, they're not taking any wins from Scott Frost. So how do you pitch that? Like, how does that work? If they are undefeated, they're in, right? I mean, that should
You would think that they would be in.
But they're not going to be in with 1 loss.
Cincinnati?
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry, no.
Wow.
Nope. Wow. That's the point. That's the problem.
They're all facts. Okay.
That's what you got to do.
Okay. All right. We'll throw the break. We'll come back. Hey, call now. I got Nick Trivia. Nick Trivia. Call now. 464-5685. Got him.
Look at him. He got that little smirk.
Got him. He thought he was just smooth through the day. Smooth through the day. Got him. 464-5685. Call in now.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Some patchy fog will be possible this morning, but overall cloudy and a bit cool here for our Tuesday. We'll top out near 46 with a light south wind at 5. Areas of fog possible again tonight with a low down to around 29. And not much of an improvement tomorrow. Partly cloudy with a high of around 47. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alla knows businesses need reliable communication, both at the office and at home. Now more than ever. Just listen to Bill Mitchner from Lighthouse.
Before we'd have breaks in service, especially for internet, but we've never had any issues with Allo. It's always been there and available when we needed it.
At Allo, supporting your business is our business. To get your free quote and switch today, visit allofiber.com/workfast or call 402-480-6685 today.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, sewer and water underground repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. That's Select Plumbing at 402-560-6197.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill has food and drink specials every night for all the games. Enjoy jumbo pork tenderloin for $8.99 and 90-cent wings for Monday Night Football, or Comfort Thursday Night Football with chicken fried chicken, steak, or pork for just $9.99 and $20 Coors Light aluminum buckets. Watch college football on Saturdays with an Eggie sandwich for $9.99 and Coors Light specials, and catch NFL Sundays with Bloody Marys and more. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
One host has a red beard and thinning hair. The other also has a red beard and thinning hair. One host got married over the summer. So did the other one. One is a diehard fan of a sub-500 AL Central baseball team. So is the other. Can these two radio hosts do a show together without getting confused as to their own identity? The same couple. Happer and Schaefer. Weekday mornings from 8 to 11 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here. In 2013, I first came across Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville, and I've been a customer ever since. What's kept me coming back to Koppel is the people. Oftentimes, owner Bob Koppel and his son Brandon are right there with you in the showroom, walking you through the process. There's no runaround at Koppel. It's a hardworking Nebraska company built on honest, small-town values. So make that short drive to Louisville or visit them online at koppelcars.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Pretty simple stuff, and for Nick, this one's they're limited answers to the question. So, Nick, I will ask Nick a question. If Nick knows the answer, he won't tell you. You call in and tell us whether you think Nick will know the answer to this question or not. So call now, 464-5685. Nick, sir.
Yes.
Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
There's a $15 gift certificate to Upside Bar and Lounge.
Oh.
If they get this right.
It's on the line.
Yeah, if they get it right. So, Nick, Kenneth Walker leads the Big Ten Conference in rushing. Who is second? Who is second, Doc? Come on, don't give the answer. Who is second? Who is second?
All right.
464-5685. He's not from Nebraska.
Sounds good.
No. He is not from Iowa.
Okay.
He is not from Minnesota.
Oh, I should probably put myself on the stream here.
Yeah, do that.
To see whether they. Kenneth Walker has 175 attempts for 1,194 yards, 149 a game. 149 a game, 14 touchdowns.
Oh, there we go.
14 touchdowns. So, who we got?
1 second.
No, just bring him in. Just bring him in.
Oh.
Unless that's
gonna be
our traffic guy, but it shouldn't be. Yeah. Pretty simple. I thought this was one that you could ace.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Does he have to have the name right?
If he tells me the school, I probably give it to him. Is that Jarrett? Let's bring in Jarrett on the Honda Lincoln hotline. Jarrett, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
All right. So I asked Nick the question. Kenneth Walker leads the Big Ten in rushing. Who is second? And the question to you is, do you think that Nick knows the answer or he does not know the answer?
I think he does.
Okay.
Originally, I was going to say Blake Corum. Now I'm switching it to Travion Henderson from Ohio State.
That's the one you want to go with, huh?
I'm going to go with Travion Henderson. Oh, I got to play that again. Play it louder. Nice job, Jared.
He must have barely got there because Blake Corum was one of leading in the.
He was leading at the beginning,
but the other guy's taking over.
Henderson's got 845. Corum has 774. So well done, Nick.
Thank you.
I told you. I thought that was one that
honestly I thought, oh, that's easy. That's Blake Corum. But then I forgot about the guy Nebraska has to face this Saturday.
I thought you'd go Null, but Hull, the guy from Northwestern, but you did.
Oh yeah. The other guy that I was thinking about, he's not there quite yet.
Stop thinking about other dudes, Nick.
Of course.
Just stop.
Was Wisconsin's guy, but because they're starting to figure out how to run the football.
They better.
But he hasn't had the experience.
They better. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. That was pretty
That
good.
was pretty good, Nick. I'm impressed.
Right? Every now and then he shows up, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Now just stay in your lane.
I'm gonna stay quiet because I don't want to.
up.
Yeah, I've learned too much.
He's Rain Man. He's Rain Man. Like there's no other way. There's no other explanation for it.
I know.
He's
I
Rain
walk
Man.
right in, and then guess who pops around the corner? How you doing day to day, Jay? My greeting party.
Yeah, it's Rain Man. I'm like, get it in. Get it
I
in.
had to go wash my hands.
It was like how kids. I used to wait for my grandma when she would come, and you wait to she come down the hill. That's him. Saw me pull up.
No, it's not.
Just popped in.
I asked DP. I said, "Okay, we got 2 minutes left. I got time to wash my hands because I had just eaten the burrito." And I went to the bathroom and
that, you just
bam, you were
you
there.
be back here grubbing like a super.
He was eating cookies when you got here. So he had just gotten into pipeline.
But you didn't even see how many cookies he ate yesterday.
Oh, I
had
saw
one.
No, you did not.
You really didn't.
Nick, no,
you really
I had
did
one
right
snickerdoodle and one apple cinnamon.
That's not how that works. That's not how math works.
Right? He went from 1 to 2, so it was 4.
Yeah, like I just that's like asking certain people how many partners they have. They go 1. No, you didn't.
1 on Monday.
Hey, you player.
Did you see how he came off?
You've been hanging out with Big Sky. That's the dude right there.
No, I'm pretty sure that's something you taught me back in January when I first met you, Jay.
So
no, don't bring me into your stuff.
No, do we think that Nick has had a week already?
I'm sure he has.
See, that's one we need to have. That's what we need to trivia. Nick or nah?
Nick, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Potentially, if you had a girlfriend, would you let me and DP interview her in studio?
Probably not.
Would you let Big Sky? Would you let Big Sky?
No, I wouldn't expose her to.
Would you let us interview her in the studio while you're out there, so you can't push the dump button?
Honestly, if that was the case, well, if
you couldn't stop us. Right?
If I took the risk of bringing her in to talk to you guys, it would probably be best
she could call and be anonymous.
Nah,
she could be she could be Jenny from the East Side, and I'm John
from the East Side.
No, I think that would be great.
Hey, I sent Jake in Sippa text this morning. It was a Jake in Sippa text.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't respond. I sent him a text to their phone.
It's in there as Jay Foreman.
No, but I just sent him. I didn't send him a text on the text line. This would not be on the text line. I didn't know if this was public. I didn't know. I was gonna send it to the text line, but I was like, I don't want this to be public.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea.
You don't want me looking up here.
I didn't know if it goes online. Everybody sees it.
No, people want to see it, but they don't know that they don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Well,
I texted them. They didn't say nothing. So did you see Sip today?
No, Sip got out of here before I got here today.
I rolled up after class, so I did not.
I mean,
He probably getting one of those last little days riding around. Don't he got a motorcycle or something?
Listen, man.
Look,
I can see Sip.
Sipple was in an enigma.
Driving or riding his motorcycle up there. Was it Sturgis? And have a leather jacket or a leather jacket, skull cap, skull cap. Hey, with no, hey, with no shirt on underneath.
No.
Oh, I can see Sip do it.
Bike club Sipple? Is that right?
I guarantee you, on the weekend, Sipple's in a bike club, a Harley club
with the Scorpions.
Yeah.
Is he a member of the Facebook group chat?
He's a member of the Torpedoes.
Okay, so text line, we need for y'all to tell us what's the only wrong answers only, but we need the name of Sipple's the bike club, the motorcycle club he's in.
He's gonna kill me when he sees it.
What's the name of what if Sipple was in a motorcycle gang? What would that gang name be? Like, because he's got the leather jacket. Would he have like the pull down leather hat? Like, he's definitely got the shades on. The question is, does he have a scarf on as he rides?
I guarantee you Sipple has remember those leather gloves that had the holes in the knuckles?
Yeah,
he has those, and then he has them unstrapped too. Sipple might cut the fingertips off, so he looks real.
Well, because he got little hands.
Yeah,
he's got little hands. So
I guarantee you Sipple has it.
We're doing Sipple dirty right now. He doesn't even have a chance
He
to.
has the chain on his wallet.
You can hear him when he walks,
bringing from his back pocket.
Sipple, we're like Apollo Creed trying to get Rocky out of like hiding. Remember when Apollo Creed put all those signs up and we got Rocky?
Yeah, you need to pull. So is Sip a helmet wearer or is he a hat wearer?
Oh, I think
Does Sipple go the extra mile and have the visor that flips down?
Yeah.
So that,
he definitely
so no bugs in his eyes.
And it's the mirror one.
He has
the mirror, the reflector.
But then underneath, he still has goggles just to double up. Just double up on it.
So he pulls them up. Like, he flips it up, but he's still cool, right? Like, he's still got the shades there. The text said the Easy Riders. That's good. That's good. That's good. The old Scotus. Yeah, I don't know. Wow. Wow. Somebody went hard on the text line.
Nah, man.
Oh,
no, that's even Sipple's nipples.
They went hard, man. Okay. All right, y'all. We'll have to ask Big Sky, can you call Sipple for us? Can you call Sipple for us? So we need to know whether Sipple is
but I think don't he got a motorcycle?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's big into his Harley.
I could just see him in the middle of the winter just crank that bad boy up and just up there revving it.
Sips chips. The middle-aged posers. The Rat Pack. Yeah, Sipple should probably call in and let us know. Let's you know what?
I'll give him a call.
Let's go to an early break and then let's come back. Let's get Sipple. Let's find out if he's in a motorcycle.
Has he got him?
If he's in a motorcycle club.
I was about to tell Big Sky his phone number, but I was
don't do that.
I did not do that over the air.
Don't do that.
That could have been bad.
Don't do that. We had
Sipple might be writing.
Sipple's
writing another article.
He's out with the chickens right now. Mad, just mad. He's fuming.
He's building a new coop.
He's fuming. He's like, wait a minute, what is going on? Like, why are they called?
He's gonna be caught off guard. He's gonna be like, "Why are they calling me?"
Big Guy's telling him now.
He's like,
don't ruin the surprise. Come on. No spontaneity at all. Big Sky, look, he's hogging it.
Listen, man.
Man, Big Sky, what are you doing? Come on.
He's got palms up.
No, because
doing everything.
He was trying. See,
there he is.
See, he
is.
Oh, hold on. All right, there's some message coming to it. Like Big Sky's explaining why we need him just because we needed Sipple in the afternoon. He needs 5 minutes. Okay, so we'll throw it to break, and then we'll come back. We'll have Sipple, and we'll get answers to your questions on Old School 97 The Ticket.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, sewer and water underground repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. That's Select Plumbing at 402-560-6197.
South Lincoln has a new place for you to catch all sporting events. The Upside Bar and Lounge is your destination for Monday Night Football, UFC fight nights, and more. It's a great place to meet friends to enjoy great drinks and food, with plenty of TVs to catch all the action. There's easy access and free parking and comfortable seating for groups. And don't forget happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. each weekday. There's specials every night, including taco night on Mondays and burger baskets on Tuesdays. That's at the Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket, sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health.
Angry about a recent Nebraska football loss? Go throw axes at Kraft Axe Throwing. Optimistic about the upcoming Nebraska football game? Go sign up for free football tickets at Kraft Axe Throwing. Bring some friends, reserve a bay for an hour or more, release anger at the targets by hucking an axe at it, and walk away feeling better about yourselves and the football season, just in time to enter for a chance to win a free pair of tickets to the next home game as you walk out the door. Reserve your lane online at craftaxethrowing.com or call 402-802-9696. Kraft Axe Throwing at 18th and N in Lincoln.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today, with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
I'm Dan Friedman. When you entrust the care of an aging or sick loved one to a nursing home, it can be a gut-wrenching decision. Unfortunately, sometimes these facilities are poorly managed or make bad decisions, and our vulnerable loved ones suffer the consequences. If you believe your loved one suffered at the hands of a poorly run nursing home, it doesn't cost you a thing to get the opinion of a skilled trial lawyer. At Friedman Law, we've been protecting the rights of injured Nebraskans for over half a century. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Back to old school with DP and J, presented by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese.
Final segment, and don't go anywhere. After this, it's Strychnine with Eric Strickland, Husker Hall of Famer, and his featured guest tonight, Terrence Badgett, so they can take you back to old conference championship days and a lot of conversations. And then Badgett tomorrow is going to bring you the former coach, Danny Nee, will be his guest tomorrow on Uptown with number 43. But now we have questions that must be answered. A listener, we brought up the idea, and Jay Foreman asked the question. You know, Jay, he understood it. Sipple, he said, does Sipple have a motorcycle? And I said, yeah, I think so. But then more questions popped up, so let's bring in from the Lincoln Journal-Star an early break, Steven Sipple. Sir, thank you for taking our call.
Hey, DP and Jay. So I was just listening to the promo. Terrence, just real quick before we get to the cycle discussion, Terrence Badgett, that's amazing. That's an amazing show. And the fact he's having Danny Nee on is really amazing because Danny doesn't do a lot of interviews.
Right.
That's a major coup for the ticket.
He's been on a roll. Badge has been on a roll, and he's gone back and pulled all the old guys. So it's been pretty cool listening.
Hey, Danny Nee had that program rocking and rolling at a high level, and yeah, that's a great get. I'll tell you what, that's must listen to if you're a Nebraska basketball fan. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. It's going to be a good one. We'll have fun tonight with the two former rim hangers and find out what's going on between those two. They've got a ton of stories. So you are in fact the owner of a motorcycle, correct?
Yeah, I have a Harley, a Super Dynaglide, 2010 Super Dynaglide.
Okay. So,
hey, Sip, is it?
Hi, Jay.
What's happening?
Not much.
I told everybody you ain't returned my text that I sent you this morning, but we all good. I understand you. That was
a little rough.
Yeah, that was some heat for y'all. Now,
Yeah,
Sip, when somebody asks you about your Harley, do you have to tell them which one that you have? Because you're awful proud about your Dynaglide. Okay, I got you. Now, do you look down on somebody that has like a starter, like a starter Harley, like just the basic?
No, I like those. I mean, I think go with a little smaller model, and I think they're pretty cool. I've looked at them, but I like mine. Mine's a little old school. It's not all done up. I stripped it down pretty good, actually. I don't know what I'd do without it, to be honest. It's like you guys got hobbies. Jay, I know you play golf because you play with one of my good friends, Jack. I'll play golf. My hobby's my bike.
Right.
So the question immediately turned to: is Sipple a member of a bike gang? Is he a member of a motorcycle club?
Not yet. No. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. That's what they kind of call it.
That's so good. The text line has been sending in all wrong answers for the name of your motorcycle.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty. I'll leave them there for you for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, let's leave it right there. Okay.
So then the question is: Are you a helmet and visor guy? Or are you a hat and shades guy?
No, I mean Nebraska's a helmet state.
Okay.
So I have a helmet and shades. I mean, I don't have if you're asking me if I have the helmet with the full helmet, no, I got just like kind of the hat helmet. So you got to wear shades with it because I don't have a visor over my face.
See, we were betting on the visor. We bet on the visor and the shades under
I wear
it.
a little helmet.
Yeah, see, it's the little helmet. Okay, so when you start your Harley club here in Lincoln, what's the name going to be? Like, what are we going to go?
I don't have a name. DP, I don't know. I wouldn't probably start one. I don't like like my brother he doesn't have a Harley, he has a big Honda, and he likes to go ride with my dad. My brother-in-law likes to do that, but I'm not big on riding with other people. I just like going out on my own.
How long's your ride?
Depends. I mean, on Friday, I have a lot of the times afternoons off on Friday. And I went, how far did I got about to Crete, I just take little day drives. I go to Crete and eat at a Mexican restaurant and then just turn around and come back. Maybe ride a little bit around in the country.
Yeah.
But just sort of this time of year when I don't have a lot of time, they're pretty much impromptu day trips, and it has to be, I set the weather. It's got to be over 50, like 51's fine, but 49's not. You'd be surprised how cold it is on those things.
I'm really seeing this thing clearly now. This needs like a 60-second commercial of Sipple just talking about his bike and his latest ride. It's just a rider, his Harley, and the wind. Like,
it annoys the hell out of my wife. I will tell you that.
Hey, Sip. In the wintertime, do you just crank that bad boy and rev it up every once in a while?
That's a good question. You ask a good question. Yeah, having a bike like that. It is a conundrum in the winter. Right. I mean, last winter it was really because I had battery issues, and I was out there all the time, most of the time trying to get it started. I have a new battery on. I should be okay, but you got to charge it through the winter. You know, I mean, winter maintenance of a Harley is significant. Anybody who has a Harley tells you that just maintenance overall is significant. It's costly, but the winter months. It's a tough deal. A, you can't ride. B, you got to keep it charged up.
Well, it's good. We're gonna put a pin on this.
That should be your social media profile. You some of you with this is what they want to know. Do you wear chaps?
No, it's a good question. There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't. If I was more active in terms of riding across the country or taking longer rides, I would. I mean, I have rain gear, but I haven't done the chaps thing. But chaps make sense in a lot of ways.
I'm just picturing Sip in full regalia, like just. That's the okay.
I'm not quite there. I'm not quite there.
Sip, that's got to happen. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for giving us time.
Thank you, guys.
That's he's got the chaps.
Man, I'm gonna tell you,
he's got the leather chaps. He's just not telling us.
People that there's a lot of over in where was that? I think it was in either England or Paris, and flew over there with some homies and land. It was rainy, right? And so we were in the, we go down to the hotel, but then there's tons of people with mopeds and motorcycles, and it was raining. I was like, how are they going to still ride it? They have like these covers that go over everything besides the windshield.
Yeah.
And then once they pull up to the place, they literally unzip it. And I remember seeing this guy unzip it, got out, got his briefcase, his suit, just walked right in and had a meeting.
That's when you're living right.
It was the coolest thing. I was like, you know what? That's pretty cool.
But that's like Jay and his golf. Like he has his golf clothes, and then if he needs to go somewhere else, he has his clothes in the back of the car.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I just live out of my car right now. Yeah. Those aren't golf clothes. These are ones. This is like I wear them, but I don't play golf. I got to dress up. I wear if I'm dressing up. I'm wearing golf clothes.
See,
but I'm not playing.
Okay, all right.
My wardrobe. I do not play every day. I haven't played in weeks, but my wardrobe is very, very limited.
Okay, we'll fix on that.
As Nick says,
we'll
very, very limited.
We'll fix that. All right, brother. Appreciate you. Strict 9, Terrence Badgett, Big Sky coming up.